hadamadin ila nyantolum preji kendomi annun ji senango adabe hadamadun la balu wala kon annun hadamadun ka fengo fen dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senango ay ke kuti mi yalla ko ata hadamadun mantora madum one stop water solutions limited ibi jande gambia banko kan andun ye fitarole natal mi yalla ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senango natale gambia banko kan jio mi yalla ko atal mantora la annun jio diata bati one stop water solutions limited ye fitarole natal mi yalla ko alse muna fangano la alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang abo holo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solutions ya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalo ko acid yota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko acid yota aya dada aya senendi mense beta alla jata kendato o fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalo ko acid chemical o bonnino jiol kono le mense beta alla jata kendeya filter mum boko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemical o be bondi akono pour alla jata kendeya sahen nim filter sabol be kiliwo kilina pansundo ku na wata tankol fanan sotali kabrim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fanan be mol bulle alsemol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala ismol kumandi 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water limited solutions inatale ka jikuo be sonende gambia banko.
Good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I'm your host, Jenna Bosonko. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the program, my amazing co-host.
Oh, yeah. It's good to be back. We are back again on another edition of This Morning here on QTV. And it's always good to be here, Jenna. But it's very comfortable.
Yo, Hana, gisula sumachu.
No, Lula gis.
Ah, sumachu bi what's the harm?
Hamga man wahna la dama buga eye colors. Bi mungi jahase light blue and black.
Wali move ladi.
Mungi am white. Wow, hamga mixing colors. So ko mixer nga am a particular hamga final color. So Lola la johnny. Man arts and craft la devon school.
Man hamna lolo, and this outfit is by Rugi's creation, you know. So thank you so much, Rugi, for this outfit. Before we leave here, I'll give the numbers to call if you want an outfit as nice as this or even better. So thank you so much for joining us, Mawudun Boch, on the newspaper review. Always good to have you here.
I was glad to be here.
So how was your weekend, considering we're just catching up today?
Oh, I normally have quiet weekends.
Okay.
You know, I had my kids on Sunday.
Okay.
But on Saturday it was quiet. But you know, when the kids are around on Sunday, it's never that quiet.
No.
So it was a mixture.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun to have them around.
Having kids around, especially of that age, I mean.
And boys, you know.
A whole lot of stop, don't do this.
Yeah, so we have the African proverb. Today we have the newspaper review. Our guest is already here, Momodun Boch, to help us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. We have the Standard and Fourier here. And on Community Watch, we'll be taking a look at the treatment of worms affected. Children are actually affected in Banjul and Kombo South, and we'll be having the Ministry of Health to talk about this treatment of worms. You know, it's been a while since I even heard about this, so it will be really interesting to know what prompted this particular exercise. Is there an outbreak, or what is the problem? But we'll be joined as usual by Jibril Gando Balde, Senior Health Communications Officer at the Ministry of Health. And on Sports Update, we have Ade Drame who will join us here to tell us what is happening in the world of sports and Click segment. So one stop, what is solution?
The Click segment is by Churchill Balde.
I see. So don't forget that One Stop Water Solution are part of our partners. Thank you so much for your usual support. Go right there on Sokoto Highway and get all these materials that will purify your water. You definitely deserve it. So what is our African proverb?
Yeah, let's go straight. One may have two legs, but that does not mean one can climb 2 trees at the same time.
Okay. One may have 2 legs, but that does not mean one can climb 2 trees at the same time. Are we trying to take a look at one step at a time, Mr. Mboch?
Yes, it looks like it. And limitations.
Yeah.
There are always human limitations, you know. So when we begin any enterprise, you know, sometimes we may have misconceptualized it.
Sure.
We may have missed a few things that in the end wouldn't give us the right outcomes. So then you go back, retrace your steps, perhaps look at where you had gone wrong. In anything, human character, human intelligence, in anything we do, there are limitations, and we must form our peace with these limitations so that we can move forward.
Let me just connect this to a proverb that we all know, killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of similar.
Maybe killing two birds with one stone. Sometimes, you know, maybe I have a chore, or there's an activity that I must do, or maybe I want to visit somewhere, and there was another issue that I had to attend. But it might be, you might have a coincidence where I can do both, as it were, with just one journey.
For me, I think it's a bit different. I think the two proverbs are different. Because on a daily basis, you kill two birds with one stone. We do that on a daily basis, you know. You leave this morning, you have another, you leave this morning, Mr. Mboj, you have viewpoint, for instance, you have to work on a story, and you achieve that in a day. You're actually killing 3 birds, let me say, not one. So for me, when I look at this proverb, one may have 2 legs, but that does not mean that you can climb 2 trees at the same time. For me, what comes to my mind is delegation as a leader. It's important that you get to delegate certain responsibilities as a leader, because sometimes leaders, some bad leaders I might say, because good leaders, I did business management in school, and it tells me that good leaders delegate and bad leaders don't. So sometimes as leaders who are not good enough, they just want to take credit for everything, you know, and you don't want to give the next person an opportunity to actually do something for you and take credit for it. Even sometimes they give you the opportunity and want to take credit for it. We see things like that. So for me, what comes to my mind is delegation. When you're on top, in as much as you have 2 legs, you can't climb 2 trees at the same time. You are supposed to give the next person the opportunity to actually execute something for you.
Exactly.
And that shows how of a good leader you are.
In that case, I mean, if you want to do all, you end up failing everything.
But sometimes you have to do, Mr. Mboj, like there are certain instances where you're also forced to do all. You know, you're not like necessarily doing all, but there are just certain things people can help you with, but you don't have a choice but to do it, because probably the next person does not want to walk as much as you're walking to execute it for you. And that also happens, you know.
Well, that's a challenge for your leadership, because I think we know that with lots of enterprises, it takes a team to achieve. A single person really cannot do it at all. Here we go back to the proverb, one's limitations. One must realize your limitations, really, and then you form your own peace with it, and then you have your strategy. Now, what do I do if it is a situation where I need to adapt? Then I adapt to move on. If it is a situation where I need to bring in my colleagues, then I bring in to help. So each situation might be different, and we make a judgment based on each situation. But I think the essence, the heart of this proverb is for just people to understand their limitations. You know, having 2 hands doesn't mean that you can climb 2 trees at the same time. So just get real, okay, one at a time, and then you go on to the other, that sort of thing.
And
you know,
me,
be realistic.
And when you even talk about being realistic, it also has to do with doing things right to be able to have the proper solution. Because one step at a time, you know, even when it comes to career, there's a path that you need to follow. There are certain steps that you cannot jump to become whoever that you want to be. You have to climb each 3.
1 step at a time.
1 step at a time. Each 3 is there. You need to climb. Well,
there is no shortcut to success.
Exactly.
Anyway, it is said. As it is said, no shortcut.
So that's just it. But I think with killing birds with 1 stone, man agree with
it depends on the context you use it. I mean, it depends on how you use it. For me, my direction is, I said, this proverb is kind of similar. 2 legs, climb. You have 2 legs. Doesn't mean you can climb 2 trees at the same time. You understand? So killing 2 birds with 1 stone, I mean, it's kind of similar to this, although they are different.
They are similar, mom. Why do
they
because
different.
Bini is not logical.
Yes. This one is talking about. Wow, this one is talking about dedicating responsibilities to other people, maybe dividing it to make the work very easy. I think this is what it's saying.
So you mean trying to kill two birds with one stone? You know, sort of it might misfire. Is that in the sense that you're trying to bring it?
Jennifer made it very clear. Maybe. I mean, she made it very clear. Sometimes you kill 3 birds with 1 stone a day. I mean, you go do this program, you go to another one, you go do your home activities, you do this and that and that. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone can fit there.
Man come and because when it comes to Bini, logically, munulo fe nyari gui at the same time. Why munga tes a hair, gis I bat you ranga jam mud lal multiple. For example, come logical. So analyze.
The idea is sort of like minimum effort and maximum gain.
Exactly.
See, that's essentially what that idea
or
is.
Multitasking.
Yes.
Multitasking.
That's it. I'm kind of like multiple outcomes. Effort. Then I'm saying maximum multiple outcomes you have been favorable.
Because then I maximize the time.
So maybe the idea of favorability, you know, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, in many ways it's got good connotations. It means that you're maximizing your time. That's more efficient. You know, you're not taking too much time to achieve
just one thing in a day.
Things, stuff like that. That's what it means. So it's got a positive connotation, I think. Whereas the other one, I don't think it does. The other one is a warning.
It's a warning
to tell you that just know what you can do and what you can't do, mate. Otherwise, you'll be so disappointed in life and that sort of thing.
Come example, both of the things that you're working towards, those achieve Ben, because buneka joholoko the required time, boko warajo at the required process. But anyway, we agree. Sometimes we do not agree.
Absolutely. Well, that's right. Sometimes you agree, other times you don't.
We don't.
That's life, isn't it?
Yes. Why mom defend na bopa? Two people against one. Two against one. So that was our African proverb. And moving on, we will go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we will head right on to the newspaper review. To stay tuned.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. Done with our African proverb. If you've missed it, you have a chance to head right onto our Facebook page, Ibrahima, as well as on YouTube to check what we have. Just yesterday, I was going through our program. I saw somebody watching all the way from Nigeria. So if you're watching from any country, from the United Kingdom, from USA, Africa, East Africa, we love you guys. You know, we see your comments. You guys are encouraging us, and that's keeping us going.
Definitely. We have our followers as far as
And the one from Philippines.
Exactly. That lady, she comes to my mind all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello from the Gambia.
Yes. we appreciate the fact that you're following us from there. So, yes, we have Foria and the Standard. So, what's on Foria?
Let's start with the Foria newspaper. Supreme Court strikes out UDP election petition case and awards cost of 100,000 in favor of President Barrow. TRRC recommends former President NIA agent banned from holding government office. And, of course, veteran journalist Abdullah Jibril Diba laid to rest. NIA helped Jammeh grip on power by spying people.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all?
Exactly.
And here we have as well, court strikes out UDP's election petition, and new Combo South chief speaks, and Barrow Dabo react to Supreme Court decision. An activist declares interest to run for parliament. And VDF gives over $500,000 each to Christian Council, others, and Standard Slams Ministry of Health's rebuttal on wasted COVID-19 millions. So that is all we have. We've seen that a new chief, let's just take it easy. We will not start with the most controversial today. So new chief has been inaugurated in New Combo. South Chief speaks, which is Falalo Toure, right there in Combo South, Gunjur. So I just want to know, Mr. Mboj, what your opinion is when it comes to chiefs. You know, sometimes people say, hey, I don't know, I think maybe chiefs should be voted in, or they should be appointed by the president, or chiefs should not exist at all. So where are you? Where are you sitting?
I'll probably abolish chiefs.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. So we normally talk about the relic of colonialism. This is just a relic of colonialism, really. All these chiefs and the like, they were all created by the colonial machinery to make it easier for them to rule. So I'm not sure whether it is as ancient as we want it to be. I think that in ancient times you just had kings, queens, and that was it. This idea of chiefs was all invented. I think everything must go to sort of democratic, as it were, institutions. No hereditary, nothing. Everything should join the main bureaucracy, the machinery of state, all this chief stuff based on some apparent ancient custom or ancient institution. It is not true.
Okay. So you do not accept that chiefs should exist.
But that is not the point. But you know, that is not the point. The fact is they exist.
They do.
Never mind my personal beliefs.
Sure, but still,
So
we just need to dig. I'm just trying to dig deep into it just to understand. But if they must exist, are you saying they should be voted then?
I'm not sure whether they must exist. All I can say is that they do exist.
Yeah, but if they must exist, meaning if they're there and they're going to continue to be there.
The assumptions of that question, they're very dodgy. I'm not sure whether I can accept the assumptions if they must be there. What will determine that must? That is a huge talk there. What is important today is the fact that they do exist. For whatever reason, they do exist and they perform certain functions.
Well,
so how do you see?
What I think is, I mean, whether for us to decide whether they should be there or not be there, we should first find out what is the role of the chief in the community. We should know their roles, their importance, their significance in the community. You understand? You've just mentioned, you said they were appointed by colonial masters.
It was created, the whole institution was created by the colonial machinery.
Before we have presidents, they were the ones representing the colonial masters in a particular country. So it's like the same trend is following. So now, before we decide whether it's to be abolished or not, we need to know their functions.
Well, their functions are quite clear, you know, it's quite clear.
To me, at some point, I think even
culture.
The chief's function is similar to the alcalo's function.
At the end of the day, you know, just try cultural preservation and just try
to have the area council chairman. So these functions, they are all similar.
Well, yes, even though they want to, it's been sort of demarcated to, you have different circles, as it were, the alcalo, the smallest circle of belonging, that community, and then gradually it expands, and you have different jurisdictions to some extent, and all the rest of it. All of that can be taken care of administratively. But, you know, that's really a different question. Maybe it will be interesting to just hear what this chief had to say, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
so for him,
yes.
you know, I watched Mamadou Lamin Choi's interview with him. You know, he's very experienced. He's an agriculturalist. He's an educationist, you know, so he's quite experienced, just talking about trying to build the human capacity in his district. That is what he called for, trying to make sure that the young people and the women are engaged into something. He says the moment these people are educated, their capacities are built, then development can come to his district. That is what he said, according to the QTV interview with Mohamed Lamin Choi.
Oh, fantastic, and nobody can fault him for that. I mean, can anybody really disagree with that? For us, we all sort of say the right things. We all know that. But saying the right thing is one thing. But again, coming with the action.
Yeah, that's what we're
waiting for. To get the outcomes that I want, that has been the difficult bit, and that will always be difficult. So we will see how the words translate into action.
Yes, so we will follow that and see.
Exactly.
So I think one thing that both newspapers have there is court strikes out UDP's election petition right there. So, and according to this particular petition, it did not make it because of Rule 11 of the election petitions rule. So were you expecting something like this? When you saw that UDP filed in a petition, what was your expectation? Did you feel like it will make it?
No, somebody else asked me this question. Then I said to the person, let's put it this way. We know that we have so many observation missions, not just the international ones, EU, AU, ECOWAS, and even our national ones, the CSOs and the like. Gambia participates, for instance. There were so many. We had, what, 5 or 6 sort of former presidents and all the rest of it. And when you look at all of them, their reports, they had not pointed out anything that the UDP party was really claiming, I have to be honest with you. So I said to them, imagine if I were a stranger and I came to this country just after the elections, and I look at the media, read all of these things, I will decide that on the balance of probability, the election, on the whole, was fair. You see, the evidence, you know, the overwhelming report was really on the side that it was fair. So most of us really thought, maybe not most of us, but some of us certainly thought that maybe there wouldn't be much in this, even though, say, Dabo's reaction, was it yesterday, was that, no, this wasn't dismissed on merit, but simply on technicality.
Yeah.
But it just happens to be the case that technicality is part of law. So one cannot really sort of try to soften the blow, as it were, which I think it was trying to do.
If we dismiss or bypass that technicality, then where is our judicial independence? Because we want to follow due process as well.
Absolutely, but thank God this thing has they've sort of moved on.
Yeah.
The judiciary, you know, for a long time now we've seen recognizable changes within the judiciary, the independence. Everybody talks about it, and that's really where our security is. They call the judiciary the bulwark, as it were, of democracy and liberalism, perhaps, and stuff like that.
But what is interesting is that the Supreme Court dismisses President Barrow's lawyer's motion in totality, you know?
What is that about? Lawyer Barrow's motion. Because they had also given a motion to, they had also tabled.
Yes,
for the
because
petition.
the IEC was represented, President Barrow was represented separately.
It depends on what the law is.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court is there to interpret the law. It depends on what the law is. So they follow the law and then come to the rulings, come to the verdict that they did. So we just have to accept and move on.
It's interesting how our judiciary is just transitioning to be that strong institution we all wished for gradually.
Well, there shouldn't be any surprises there. It used to be like that. Now the CJ at some point was the Attorney General. So this is, well, for some of us of a certain age, this is no surprise. Even though we went through that aberration of 20 years, but because of our memories, we're rooted in something much better. So for me, I do not define myself, my Gambianness, by Jammeh's period. I define myself with a much longer history. So it's completely different. So for some of you, the younger ones, this
born
is like,
in Jammeh's era, what do you expect us to do?
Exactly. So this is Gambia, now we're discovering democracy. So some of us, we're just sitting and saying, what is going on? What a short memory.
So moving on, Ibrahim, I understand that you have TRRC recommends former present NIA agents banned from holding public office. And yesterday we saw on the Standard as well, that the government has a huge task ahead of it to decide on the officials who are already serving in the government as to what to do with them.
Absolutely. That's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because we know that a lot of people who are sort of, you can call them complicitous in what was going on, are still serving in government. And now the TRRC, at least regarding the people that they've investigated, now they're recommending that some of them, you know, be banned from working in government for a minimum of, what, 10 years? Yes, then we'll see what the government will do about that. We will get the white paper, and government will tell us what it is going to do.
Yeah, but based on history, we've seen the Janet Commission, you know, how some serving officials who were mentioned weren't affected, considering they should have been affected in a normal circumstance.
Well, let's put it this way. Inquiry recommendations, unless they are made explicitly so, are not binding. So I will expect anyway, yes, be it any country in the world, in Britain, they complain about this all the time, inquiries and their recommendations, it is always subject to political convenience, political calculation, that we can never move away from that. We want to moralize politics to the extent that it just doesn't exist. It's utopian. It just doesn't exist, if you know what I mean. So that political calculation will come into it. Yes? Afterwards, how people will react, what we will do, that's a completely different matter. But in all likelihood, they will not implement all the recommendations.
Well, the Minister of Justice said, I mean, the government is yet to sit and deal with this. So once they are done, I think we will get a very clear...
But it's quite normal to start pushing from now.
Exactly.
You know, it's normal that we want to push.
Absolutely. One can do whatever. You know, the dynamic of how civil society organizations, ordinary citizens, how we will react, what we're going to do, the dynamic of politics, what's going to happen from that angle. So you have all these different nerve centers, like different interactions and dynamisms, as it were. So it just depends. We'll see what the white paper will be. For me, that is it now. But when you said earlier that because of history, what history said and all of that, I said, yes, naturally, with inquiries and their recommendations, this is what normally happens.
Yeah, but
this is just not peculiar to Gambia. Yeah. All over the world, this is what is. Maybe we should have put in the act that the findings of the TRRC will be binding on the sitting executive.
Okay.
It wasn't in the act.
It wasn't,
but again, I think it will, some people will say that perhaps it will be crazy to put it that way. You really cannot bind your executive, chief executive. You cannot tie his hands.
Okay.
That is not healthy either. I don't want that either.
Okay.
You must just at least...
But it's just important that we use that as a reference. I don't think there's anything wrong with just trying to use that as a reference. I know obviously that all recommendations cannot be implemented, but my example had to do with serving officials in the government, you know, not being held accountable for their actions.
No, my suspicion is that some of them, obviously it's in the nature of these things, some of them perhaps will be banned. But again, the controversy would arise when we see others who will not.
Exactly.
So these differentials, I suspect, will emerge.
Yeah.
Then we'll start complaining. Absolutely, I'm ready for that.
Anyway, Ibrahim, do you have any interesting thing there? Because
let's take a look at the NIA helped Jammeh grip on power by spying on people.
Absolutely, we all know that. Come on, man. This is how we used to sit. Everybody was just so nervous. You were not sure who you were sitting next to, so you were really very careful. Sometimes you had to whisper stuff.
No, I can remember.
Sometimes you dare not even whisper.
No, there was a time you cannot even say Dodeham. I mean, if you say Dodeham...
Lolo kanya what?
Lolo, I'm on a time if you don't want to Dodeham in public.
Come Dodeham,
if you say Dodeham, I mean, dangan here moitul. So it's crazy. Well, so I think, Mr. Mboj, this will teach our security personnel to at least do away with such kind of behavior. I mean, to remain independent, because they have a job to do instead of spying on people.
Yes, and there's a wider lesson as well. some people do say that the arc of history, the arc of history might be long, but it bends towards justice, they say. Whatever I do, possibly I'll pay for it sooner or later. That's really what the thing is. There will be the justice bits, you know, those they need to prosecute will prosecute, those we need to ban will ban, and all the rest of it. But there's a wider lesson for us as well, especially today's politicians, people in power today, you know what I mean. I mean, tomorrow seems far away, as it were, and things are going well today, and then, but you just never know. It seems far, but it will come. Tomorrow always comes in many ways. So maybe that is the wider lesson for everybody. Who thought at some point, that we would have a TRRC and we'll get what we've got now and we can prosecute. At some point we all thought that it was never going to happen, but it did.
Yeah.
So for me, this is the bigger lesson. And for
can
all
we
of us,
say what goes around comes around?
What goes around comes around, Mom.
Justice sort of...
Justice must be
sort
served
of,
sooner or later.
The people tell you, I mean, while sort of lies and all terrible stuff are running around the world, the English will tell you justice or goodness is sort of tying its shoelaces. But sooner or later it will get up and it will move.
Sure, it will. And here we see activists declares interest to run for parliament. We're about to see.
Yeah, Mrs. Jammeh.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
power to the women.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point, maybe 10, 15 years from now, you will also consider something like that. After you
Who
have
knows?
garnered,
I might be the next vice president. Not next. Someday. Excuse me. Disclaimer. I take it back.
That's a good one.
Absolutely, she should. Absolutely, and have a
I think
program.
Political parties too should open their at least gates for these women. At least. When it comes to politics, I mean, women contribute a lot. They should give them a chance now.
We've for a long time said that without the AI companies, you wouldn't win elections. We've seen in the voter registrations, women registered more than men. Yet, the 6 candidates, not a single woman.
That's a sad part.
Let's send our condolence to veteran journalist Abdullah Jibril Dabo, laid to rest.
Yeah, may his soul rest in
peace.
Yes, I was reading Halifa Salah's piece there, and apparently he was a teacher at Nyako Nursery School and one of the pioneers of online radio as well at the time when he was a senior reporter and focused more on agriculture and ordinary people. So yes, the media fraternity today, we've got a really bereavement.
We send our condolence to his family. Yes,
so I'm afraid that is all we have time for. But Ibrahim, imagine me becoming the vice president and having Mr. Mboch as my top advisor. Why? They can be the regular, more principled. As advisor,
Manda maro mo madam talk America.
US Thank you so much, Mr. Mboch, for joining us on the Newspaper Review. And moving on, we'll go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we'll be joined by Senior Health Communications Officer from the Ministry of Health, Jibril Gando Balde, and we'll be talking about the treatment of worms when it comes to children in Banjul and Kombo South by the Ministry of Health. We'll be right back.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Want it, order for it, and pay quickly using QuickPay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with Q Money by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I'm your host, Jennifer Sonko, with my co-host here. So, Ibrahim, who is our next guest on Community Watch?
Yes, let's go straight to the Community Watch. We have Jibril Gando Balde, Senior Health Communication Officer.
Yes. And we'll be talking about?
Exactly. We have treatment of worms, children in Banjo.
And Combo South.
Exactly.
So, I think, first of all, we need to know, is there sort of an outbreak?
Okay.
Or what? First of all, let's understand that, because I'm seeing that you decide to specify
spots,
Combo South and Banjo. So make that clear.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jenaba, and my brother, Mr. Balde. Welcome back, and our viewers out there.
We should say welcome back.
Yes.
Yo, legi Mr. Balde, dafa bokk ci programme bi de yow. Dégg nga mu ne welcome back.
Wow.
No, man lii laa gëm man.
No, dafa bokk.
Nit da nga bokk.
Gisuloo bu mu ñëwee mic test bi moom dafa ne mic test.
Mujjee.
Okay, thank you very much, wonderful viewers. I am Jibril Gandobalde, once again here on This Morning QTV. Jenaba, thank you for bringing that up. The main reason why we opt to, do a selected treatment was due to a survey we conducted. We did a survey back in 2014-2015 to identify diseases that are tropically neglected. We call them tropically neglected diseases. So one of among these diseases, you have schistosomiasis, you have lymphatic filariasis, elephantiasis, bode gis ñene sen tankay mu melni tanki ñay bena bi sew. Wow, so that is elephantiasis. And we also have the worms. And the worms dañ bari façon. We have the tapeworm, we have the hookworm, we have the roundworms. So when we did this study in 2015, which was supported by WHO, and then we came to realize that still there are some spots in the country that are still having these worm infestations. And during that study, the study came out with results, findings that in CRR and URR, they have a specific problem, which is schistosomiasis. And schistosomiasis, in a layman's understanding, is a disease that is characterized by when you have it, when you are urinating, you feel painful sensations.
Mr. Balde, doguma la de. Waaye dama foog ne man li nga nekk di explain nii, fooguma ne pour wax ko ci anglais dina beneficial bu baax. Foog naa ñu olofal ñu dugga ci yeneen local language moo gën. Because lii yow fi nga dëkk yi nga wax nii, place yi nga wax, suñ yaay yi ak suñ maam yi ñu toog ñoo dee am to take care of these kids, so it's just important that we take it there.
Comme li ma doon ma tënk ko ci olof rek, li ma doon wax mooy ne soo gisee ñu taana ci Banjul ak Kombo South this time di faj xale yi ak mag ñi foofu noonu. Loolu lu ko weesu mooy dañ defoon jàngat, dañ defoon study, te study boobu 2015 lañ ko def. Then WHO dañ ñu supportoon pour dëkk yi West Africa, especially around the tropics, pour ñu seet yan façon feebar ñoo nekk di existil yoo xam ne nit ñi léegi fàtte nañ leen. Because soo bàyyee xel time yi si gannaaw like 20-30 years ago ba 40-50 years ago, worm infestation dafa bari woon comme saan dafa bari woon torop. Waaye léegi tollu na diggante boo xam ne wàññeeku na torop, waaye minute ne tamit dafa jeex. So still now yaa ngi am i benn yoo xam ne areas yoo xam ne saan daf dee disturb xale yi, te daf dee am ñoo xam ne tamit daf dee attaque mag. So buñ defee jàngat bi 2015, jàngat bi luñ ci jàng mooy ne in URR ak CRR ñoom dañ am benn xeeti feebar bu fa leen dee disturb because of xëj na environment bi, ndox bi fa nekka, ndox bi si river bi sax is fresh water, amut salt. So dafa am i snails yoo xam ne dañ fa dee dëkka, te snails yooyu noonu mun nañoo am denca jàngoro. Jàngoro boobu noonu la mooy waral schistosomiasis. So schistosomiasis si olof soo ko bëggee ràññee wax pour nit ki ràññee ko, mooy feebar boo xam ne su ko gaa yi amee dañ dee am jafe-jafe lool pour seben su nekkee da nga am sisto because sooy seben daf dee laka seben bi dafa mel ni acide daf laa laka ñaareel ñeneen suñ weesoo loolu suñoo seben dinañ gis deret muy génn si seben bi ñeneen suñ demee kama dañoo gis seben si biir kama bi ñeneen ñi
dañoo gis
blood deret raada si biir kama bi so yooyu dafa bari boor bi yooyu noonu ba tax ne last month November foofu lañ dooree treatment bi waaye ñooñu lu ñoo traité gars yi ak lu ñoo traité fajee gars yi fii nii dafa utee because foofu study bi lu mu wone mooy ne schistosomiasis moo fa gën a bari mooy feebar bi boo xam ne soo ko amee sooy seben most of the time su la duggee lu bari da ngaa gis seben bi dafa àndaa deret kama bi tamit noonu te tamit jigéen su ko amee suy sëy daf dee am jafe-jafe bu métti because loolu soo ko amee sooy sëy ak sa jëkkër da ngaa am méttit ngay yëg doo yëg
baane ñu tuuti rek pour ñu leeral am na ñu ne soo amee lu mel ni infection sooy seben dafa métti waaw ak yoo fi wax yëpp soo dafa mel ni dafa am yeneen comme yeneen
xeeti jàngoro yu waral loolu
yuy def loolu
waaw so boor boobu noonu boori CRR URR su nekkee ne ku fa dëkka nga di nga experience loolu sometimes because ñun buñ fa demee last month sax di treat communication bi it was not difficult because soo ñëwee nga ne leen dañ ñëw pour treat ñoo xam ne dañoo am dañ dee gis seben deret si seen seben wala si seen kama wala ñuy am jafe-jafe boobu noonu ñoom xam nañ feebar bi si saa si dañ dee ne man sax suma ñetti xale su ñoo seben daf day génnee deret ñeneen naan suy dem kama daf day génnee deret waaye mag ñi su ko amee ñooñu su ñoo sëy dañoo yëg métit su nekkee jigéen la muy góor tamit sooy seben tamit you feel that same pain I understand so loolu taxoon ñu demoon CRR because jàngat bi moo ñu direct these are public health interventions pour faj yoo xam ne la dafa am study yu la jàppale di la guide so loolu ñu guide nag ñu dem foofu noonu last month treat foofu noonu almost about 350,000 people diggante URR ak CR because foofu noonu fresh water bi ba pare xale yi tamit comme léegi-léegi pon si dee am ndox nii fa la ñoo dem sangu yóbbu seen nag yi foofu noonu raxas leen naanal leen so that process da ngaa gis ne yooyu léegi nga gis ku taxaw seben si biir ndox bi te soo ko amee yaa ngi release the parasite inside the water.
So animal bi su ko amee when you eat it or it doesn't affect animal, it does not transfer from animal
at that level human to human transmission bi boobu moom moo gën a lifin because ñu bari si dex googu soo demee si géej gi fa la ñoo fóotee ñeena yi sax yaa ngi gis yenn pictures yoo xam ne da ngaa gis nit ñi ñu ngi ñëw root si
foofu la ñoo naanee
si river bi
si ndox bi
waaw dem tooga tamit dañoo ñëw root si river bi so that infection transmission boobu noonu moo dee waral feebar bi di saakulee
benn siin bu ma gisoon base si géej bi xam nga géeji base bi amut lifin
ndox bi amul xorom good so people can drink from
dama
it
gis ku ñëw root siwo
waaw
mu yóbbu ko ma laajte kii lu moo dem def ni ñu ne si ndaal bi la koo def ma ne lu tax ñu ne ma ndox bi du dee taxaw
léegi-léegi nga gis si féeri bi ku def nii rek tànk rek naan wala jàppa so process boobu noonu su nekkee ndox bi dafa am doomi jàngoro parasite den yow soo ko naanee daf laa toppa so because eggs yooyu noonu yu moo release su duggee sa biir bi like dama door di développe nekka saan so
kon dafa mel ni Mr. Ba man si lu ma nekk di déglu nii li ma gis mooy ne comme pour ñu mun a solve lii it's like a chain
waaw life cycle bi foog ñu interrupt ko
foog ngeen interrupt ko te pour interrupt ko du yéen rek de
waaw
xaw ma ndax xam nga loolu because there should be proper social protection yuñ put in place access to water access to just social amenities pour lii bu mu mun a
waaw comme lay wax ni da ngaa gis ne process boobu ñëpp a ngi si jàppa because in the sense ne léegi soo gisee ñu map out study Gambia bi yëpp ba gis ne léegi cysto is only limited around CRR at URR feebar boobu noonu kon we have gone a long way in trying to prevent the whole country from it but still now minute ne because of ñaari place yooyu noonu still mu ngi fa ne dafa jeex Gambia so that's why we are calling it neglected tropical disease yoo xam ne dañ leen neglect because foog nañ ne nekkaatuñ suñ problème waaye am na ñoo xam ne kum jàppare kooku problème am la so looloo tax Ministry of Health nag jóg taxaw si jàppale WHO because ñoom ñoo ñu jox support dépense jox ñu garab yi sax yu ñoo fajee pour ñu dem treat yi nii so da ngaa gis ne buñ defee loolu treatment bi in URR and CRR it was very successful. So léegi this time is the turn of Kombo and Banjul. So gisee tamit Kombo ak Banjul tamit study bi because you have study bi lu mu wone mooy ne Banjul ak Kombo yoo xam ne tamit du Kombo yëpp Kombo coastal bi la from Tanje Brufut Gunjur Sanyang coastal area bi so ñoom tamit seen problème bokk na si mooy feebari saan bi utee na ak sisto bi saan bi nag mooy round worm bu ma la doon wax flat worm si ak hookworm si so yooyu fi gën a bari ba tax fii tamit soo gisee loolu tamit bari fi mais bi xëj na lifestyle bi la environment bi yooyu yëpp daf dee contribute because Banjul soo ko bàyyee xel yëpp flush toilets la amee but after flushing everything it goes to the sewage and sometimes si biir street fii sa nga gis blockage kama bi génnaat si kaw mbedda bi te xale yi fa la ñoo ñëw di force si kaw mbedda bi and all that so you can see if those eggs are released on the streets and somewhere outside fu ñu warut a nekk da nga gis ne transmission bi still dafa mun a am so looloo tax transmission bi mu am so looloo tax ñu door treatment bi Monday ba Friday pour gis ne képp koo xam ne preschool la koo xam ne demut school 4 years upwards ak ñuy dem school ak mag ñi sax ñu ngi génn si te fu mu nekk nii depuis Monday ak Tuesday jot nañoo faj 5,900 people in Banjul.
So man li ma bëgg a xam mooy Ibrahima man what I want to know is he mentioned ne lii dafa nekkoon loo xam ne it was neglected these are like is it no paan boobu am na lu ma bëgg a ñu génnee fii ñu clé ko
feebar yoo xam ne comme like dem nañ ba léegi bareetuñ so système yi ñu foog ne it's not more important
man suma time yi comme
Hale,
10 years ago. Wow. Time boobu noonu
10 years ago?
Time boobu
or when you were 10?
Time boobu sa mag na.
Wow.
10 years ago. Laa gëj a gis ko am saan.
Really?
Waaw comme nit mu am saan ñu ne saan la am. Fan yële si gannaaw maa ngi toog di xalaat ma ne man gëj naa gis ko am saan.
So that's why it's called neglected. Because gis nga léegi gëj nga koo gis ba nga foog ne it's not more nekkaat di exist. So looloo indi comme li moo wax ni neglected bi.
Waaw
but the as a ministry we know ne
people are serious they discuss issue serious.
As a ministry ñun xam nañ ne is very important. moom gisu ko waaye am na ñoo xam ne still seen xale yi mën nañoo dem kama ñu dis fa saan ñeneen yi dañoo wëccu sax nga gis saan
the last one I saw noonu la demee am na ko dem toilet rek ma gis saan
and you remember
and li important nekkul ne saan tamit ku ko am rek danga koo gis am na ñoo xam ne they will not release expel the actual saan you understand but the eggs saa yum demee kama eggs si saan si dafa génn because this is how transmission bi dey flow.
After mu dem
soo ko amee nga dem toilet boobu noonu ida si flush la mu dem si flush bi demul to the right channel. ba mu dem génnaat comme li ma wax sewage system bi mu bloqué gars yi ñëw génneewaat eggs yooyu dañoo ñëwaat. eggs si saan mun naa nekk si suuf for 10 years or 5 years.
te dara
fekk dugut si right environment bu mu soxla pour mun a toj. Si nen nekkaat saan du yaaxu.
So
man I saw sand like a small snake.
Yes.
Wow.
Snake.
Yes.
Wow.
So noonu la mel in as you can say describe it but comme li ma la wax. comme eggs yi you can never see them. eggs yi moom you can only see them through a microscope.
So man Mr. Balde
su ko xale defee si mbedda wala nit dem kama foo xam ne warut a dem foofu noonu si gannaaw kër la. den saan su fa nekkee eggs yi laa la wax ma real saan bi de mun eggs yi mun na faa nekk for 5 years so comme su nekkee bic la suuf ñeene dañoo dem bic suñ bëggee kama dañoo laaxu fee na rek gas rek kama fa so su nekkee foofu noonu yow yaa ngi am saan eggs yoo saan yooyu noonu mun nañ faa nekk 5 years te bés nit mun naa ñëw jaxas ko then
so moo tax man ma bëgg a put across suma argument Ibrahima with what everything lu Mr. Balde explain moo tax ma bëgg a put suma argument ne considering na yen xam ngeen ne all these things are happening people are going to the beaches doing whatnot and all of those things and lii mun na moo transfer why is it neglected man I don't like the issue of the word neglected
is the terminology that is been given to these diseases by WHO. They are classified as neglected tropical diseases.
So
these were diseases that were so rampant in the tropics, you can say in Africa. So rampant. You understand? Because time bobu come kilimo wa tok na legi 10 years jisu san. Time bobu do tok 6 months jisu lo san.
True.
You understand? 20 years ago, I mean, going down the lane, do tok 1 year jisu lo san. Because it was so rampant. So now WHO to reignite comme lay wax ni pour delo wa nit ñi ne amna febar bo xamne rampanon na waaye léegi benn tey mu ngi fi waaye bariwut waaye still we have to concentrate and try to eliminate it so loolu tax WHO classify feebar yu bari yooyu noonu yëpp du moom kenn comme feebar boobu noonu ma laa wax comme ku dee am elephantiasis yooyu noonu yëpp they are neglected because now you don't hardly see them but those days you see a lot of them so WHO is just classifying them so that people will not forget them so that's why they're reminding us that
so
they are neglected tropical diseases.
Wow.
So that's how we also classify them.
So putting WHO aside, the balali, lan la ministry bi don def ci li.
Ministry bi was doing a lot. Thank you very much. Because so you say yefi san su nekkee ne san la ñun we put it, the Ministry of Health, we put it in our routine system. Okay. Routine RCH system. So demee noos su nekkee ne am nga doom saa yoo demee noos every 6 months afa am tablette buñ ko dee jox. Dang dee yóbbu xale noos.
Man.
Waaw.
Wow,
I've taken my kids to nurse on several occasions.
Okay, when you go to the clinic, dañ ko dee jël pengu, dañ ko dee weigh and all that. But after record katambi, so ko bàyyi xel, every 6 months, there is a portion in the down below where is for deworming.
Wow, deworming.
You understand? And you will see mebendazole given to the kids every 6 months. So the ministry is making sure that xale yi bu ñoo maaga ñu terminate yëfi sansen system bi so from birth so amee 6 months ñu jox la sa first dose after 12 months after ba nga am 4-5 years sooy dem noos yaa ngi am garabi sanse lopitaan bi waaye soo génnee noos looloo tax this program is targeting those who are out of nurse service, clinic service, but they are not yet in primary school, so we have a category for preschool. That is from 4 years to 6-7 years. Depend na yow mun nga ne 4 years sa xale na dem school. Waaye ñeneen ñi they will wait till 6 or 7.
7 years.
So that's why we have preschool age, which is around from 4 to 7. Then we have the school-going age, and then we also have the adult category. So you say you target ñi because ñi nekkuñ di dem léegi nurse. Duñ dee am that routine deworming tablets. So that's why we targeted these people.
So dafa mel ni time bi lu si des bari wut Ibrahima.
So mun nga ñëw time bi du dee
so mun nga ñëw man dama xamul da Mariama dafa nelaw because gis naa time a ngee dem so time bi doy dafa nelaw mu wax ñu wala lu xew so fi mu nekk nii ñu bëgg a xam rek finally kañ ngeen di dem Banjul ak Kombo South su ko defee nit ñi expect leen.
Yes, as I said, Banjul ñu ngi fa depuis Monday. Monday was a public holiday, but it was not for us. Our teams were in Banjul. You can see in the pictures. They were there Monday, Tuesday. We treated 5,000 plus. And we will be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we have 8 teams that will be circulating the whole of Banjul. Am na ñoo xam ne comme team bi is permanent at Liman Clinic. We have a team permanent at Polyclinic. We also have teams that go into the wards, that go into the streets to make sure that we get all the kids that are in Banjul. Then Kombo South tamit ni ñu ko defee Banjul the same thing. Teams are in Kombo South, Tujeren, Tanje, Gunjur, Sanyang, all these coastal areas. Our people are there.
Mr. Balde, man ko ñëw tooñ ma ne Ministry of Health mbaa nañ amati communication officer bu mel ni
non Mr. Balde
non man daal man
moom kenn la si
Balde rek mooy loolu
fii daal man moom anyway we are so proud of the work that he's doing
definitely
to be honest because xam nga fii sometimes ñun journalist lañ dañ dee dégg luñ dee wax communications officer si su ko defee ñu ne technically they are not there
ñun moom dañoo wax de
ñun
dañ dee wax
ñun we are communication plus health experts
exactly la war a
so you have to know your subject
dafa mel ni tey nga yóbbu woon Ibrahima Balde Ministry of Justice ne ko nekk fa communications officer mu am pour dem mastaloo bi ak yooyu noonu
dina rax de
suñ ko ne joxe nañ verdict mu ne luy verdict
ma ne ko dina rax de waaye moom fees na place am nag
thank you very much
thank you so much for joining us waaw dama xamul nag na Mariama Cissé dafa nelaw but anyway
so li ñoo war rek mooy ñoo xam ne seen xale yi benn tey receive wuñ garab bi ñu ngi ñaax gars yi ñu génn su nekkee ñu ngi dëkk Banjul su nekkee tamit sa xale mu ngi kombo mu ngi dem school Banjul it's very important nga dem fa pour make sure ne xale bi am na garab bi
ok so alaat nañ ma ne am na ñuy nelaw si biir foofu si biir gaa yaa ngeen nelaw so xaaral ñu bàyyi la nga dem su ko defee ñu mun a eew we'll go for a short break and we'll be right back.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q-Power. I am Q-Cell. I am Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q Money and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your Q Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q Power, and other Q Money services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the Q Money platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with Q Money by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I am Jana Bosonko. I'm joined by my co-host, Ibrahim Abalde. What is up next?
It's time for some sports with Mr. Ade.
It is indeed. And Ibrahim Abalde, I know you'll probably be looking for flights to Cameroon and so on. And so hopefully they're going to run a video because I'll be talking about AFCON. Okay. We're getting closer and closer to the start of it. And we already have a kind of A to Z of teams that have sent in their squad lists. Yeah. And so the likes of Algeria, the champions. If you look at the list, actually, I don't think there are any surprises from any of the teams.
Okay.
Whether it's Algeria or the Gambia or whatever. I hope they're going to run this video.
Yeah, we need that.
And essentially, you know, this is the video kind of welcoming people to you know, to Cameroon and to the championship.
Have you booked your flight already?
Well, you know, I'm tempted to. I'm tempted to because,
what is that?
You know,
rendezvous au Cameroon?
Yes, you know.
Rendezvous au Cameroon.
Rendezvous au Cameroon, which of course they're welcoming us to Cameroon, welcoming everybody.
My French
and on the screen, on the screen, your French is not bad at all. And on the screen there, what I've done is I've done a compilation of all the teams, all the squads that have already sent in the list of either their full teams or their provisional squads. And it's a bit surprising that some teams, even at this late stage, are only sending in provisional lists of names. You know, and I say surprising because the likes of Ethiopia, they've you know, got a jump on everybody. They're already in Cameroon. They're the first team to arrive, and they arrived 5 days ago. So it's not like, you know, and the competition is not starting until January. And what they've said is that because where they're going to be based is at sort of slight altitude compared to everywhere else, they want to get acclimatized. I mean, they already are a high altitude country anyway, but they're well ahead of everybody else. And so it's a bit of a surprise to everybody that they're there. But apparently what they're going to do is they're going to play some games against local sides, just to kind of get familiarized with playing and having game time.
But probably they have money, you know, because at the end of the day, going ahead means getting to have more money to be there. When Gambia, we are still struggling to like reach our target.
Well, that's right. I mean, certain things are taken care of by the organizers anyway. So we're not going to worry about flights and hotels. That's all taken care of. Rest of it is kind of bonuses and that sort of thing. So for the likes of that, but with Ethiopia's case, although they're not a particularly fancy team, but what they do have is they have support from the government and from the people of Ethiopia. So they're hoping that they're going to do well. And they're hoping that, you know, it's going to be a good tournament for them. For the likes of Gambia, Comoros making it for the first time, as everybody knows, Gambia are making it for the first time ever. We've already picked the squad. Again, no surprises in the squad. Of any of the teams, if you could say there's been a shock or a surprise, it's probably Algeria, of all people. And a guy called Hakim Ziyech, who plays for Algeria, plays for Chelsea. He's been playing quite well. He's not even in the squad. And so, you know, people are saying they must be really good if they can afford to leave him out, because he's a really good player. But Algeria have a unique record at the moment. Not only are they defending champions, they've just recently won the Arab Cup. And they did that with a host of home-based players. So imagine they can win that when some of the teams they played against, you know, brought in players from abroad and so on, and yet they won it very convincingly. In our group, we have to worry about Tunisia. Tunisia have named a very good provisional squad. There's a young guy called Anibal, who plays for Manchester United's under-23. He played in the Arab Cup, and he was one of their best players in that tournament. He's not played many times for the Man United first-team squad, but he's played a number of times. I think he's played about 3 games for the first team for United. So he's in the squad, and he might be in the final squad. So that's, you know, as far as Gambia are concerned, somebody to look out for. Mali have named a provisional squad. And really, you know, everybody's excited. And if people keep watching the video, towards the end of it, you'll see all the 6 stadiums that will be used. And I mention that because up to this very moment, there have been rumors that the whole thing was going to be cancelled. Well, it's not going to be cancelled. I mean, you know, Cameroon authorities are adamant about it, that it's not going to be cancelled. You look at somewhere like the English Premier League, where lots and lots of games are being cancelled. Nobody's saying cancel the Premier League. And yet they're saying, oh, AFCON should be cancelled. And it's the kind of thing where, so because it's Africa.
I saw something like that. Samuel Eto'o, he said something like that. I mean, there's no going to be a cancellation of this.
Yeah, so Eto'o was in support of AFCON going ahead?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Eto'o was adamant. He's just been named the president of the Cameroon Football Association. He's just won it in the last week or so. And he was quite adamant about it. He said, no, this is going to go ahead. He said, in Europe, where you have many, many more cases of COVID, you're not cancelling your leagues, you're not cancelling football matches. Why are you saying that AFCON should be cancelled rather, when, you know, there's all this, we don't have the same numbers. And so because of that, you know, we all wanted to go ahead. And of course for Gambia, it would be disastrous. You know, first time we qualify and then they cancel or they postpone. And we don't want that.
And considering there's some people on the team who might be playing for the
Mr. Ade, you mentioned Tunisia, I mean, you
Yes.
said they have a very good team and very strong players.
Yeah.
Well, it's football. You never know.
Of course, you never know. I mean, you know, and on another program we were discussing the Gambia, and we said that, you know, two of the so-called small teams in terms of football, Madagascar and Cape Verde, when they made it to AFCON for the first time, they got all the way to the quarterfinals.
Yes.
So why can't Gambia think big, dream big, and just say, look, we're not, and interestingly, we could borrow a quote from the Ethiopian coach when they said, why have you come so early? He said, we've come to be very well prepared. We haven't come for a holiday.
Yeah.
We have to go there, not for a holiday,
Yeah.
not say, oh, we're in this tournament, let's just enjoy it. No, go there, go as far as you can get, and you might win it. And the best example we can use is probably Denmark. Those who are football lovers will remember Denmark. Where Denmark hadn't even qualified for a particular Euro championship. Yugoslavia were kicked out. Denmark were called in at the last moment. They had to call their players from all over the world. And guess what? They won the tournament.
Amazing.
That's what we have to aspire to. That's what we have to dream
you know,
about.
one thing I've observed, since we started talking about AFCON,
Yeah.
we've not been discussing Senegal, our neighbors.
What about Guinea-Conakry?
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying
started.
it for I'm not saying
Please
it for...
ask me about any team, including Senegal.
Because we've not been talking about Senegal, and they're like our neighbors.
You
so
know,
I just feel like...
previous African Cup of Nations.
Imagine there's a This Morning show right now on Senegal. Do you think they're talking about Gambia? No, they're talking about their own team.
Yeah, I'm just...
So, yeah,
okay.
Look,
I know. The only thing they will mention of Gambia is now Gambia have qualified.
Well, that's it.
Our neighbors.
They are.
Why are you guys ganging up on
No, we're not
No,
ganging. We're not
Mr.
ganging.
Ali, what about Guinea-Conakry?
Guinea-Conakry have a very good team.
I saw a post this morning.
Yes.
According to the guy, he
Yes.
said the president warned the players that they should go and win the trophy.
Look,
and
presidents say that kind of rubbish all the time.
Or else they return the money.
You know, but presidents say that kind of thing all the time. But if you don't have a squad that's good enough to win it, you're not going to win it. But and I'm glad you mentioned Guinea-Conakry, because one of the things I like about this squad, and one of the reasons I put the coaches' pictures in the list that you saw, as well as the teams, is because this time, more than any other time, you've got a lot of home-based coaches who are coaching their national teams. A player called Kaba Jawara, who used to be played for Arsenal briefly. He's now the coach of Guinea-Conakry. A very good player, although if you see him now, you wouldn't recognize him. He put on a lot of weight since his football days, which ended about 15 years ago. But he's the coach of Guinea-Conakry. Okay. So a lot of the African teams this time, they've not brought in foreign coaches. They've actually got home-based coaches. Of course, Gambia is one of the ones that does have a foreign coach. For the likes of Sierra Leone, we have a former player called John Kista. He's the coach. Bubista is the coach of Cape Verde, you know, another former player. So it's really good that, you know, African teams are bringing in.
If we're supposed to have like a home-based coach, do you think we can have that? And who can that be?
Well, you see, just a minute ago you were saying we haven't mentioned Senegal. Well, Senegal coach is still the coach who was the coach for the last time, Aliou Cissé. Okay. Not the one who works for QTV, by the way. Okay. But Aliou Cissé is former player. Yeah. And he's got all the badges, all the coaching badges.
Maybe Osjal.
So if we have a Gambian who has all the qualified, it's something that I'm very much in support of, because I'm fed up of all these African teams. They bring in these European coaches who nobody's ever heard of. They've never done anything anywhere. And then all of a sudden they coach. You know, there was a guy called McKinstry who was the coach of Sierra Leone. He was 32-year-old. He'd never done anything, and he was rubbish.
But let's put out a disclaimer that we have nothing against Tom Saint.
No, Mr. Ade, for me, actually, for me, I am in support of our coach, because this is the guy that took us to the African.
No, we're not like focusing on our coach. We're just talking generally.
I know. We're talking about coaches. And we're talking about home-based coaches. Yes, I know.
And you know, for me, after this AFCON and the one after and the one after, what I would like to see is for all the coaches. I mean, there are African coaches who have the top badges that you can get in world football. And yet, do you think any European team is going to hire them? No, they're not. And we hire coaches who have the same qualifications as some of our people. We don't hire our own people. And that's what we need to be doing. So if a Gambian gets those coaching badges, why not? He or she should be the coach of the national team.
It's putting aside our current coach. It's not about him.
Gambia is going to perform very well because our team qualified, and our referee is going, Papa Bakari Kasama.
No, you think he's going to be there to help out? It's not possible.
He's not going to be refereeing any of them. He can't.
According to what I heard, this time he will be at the
VAR.
Yes.
No, I saw the list of referees, and I was going to mention that because they published the list of referees, and for the first time ever, I think it's the first time ever, we've got women referees who will be refereeing some of the men's games.
Amazing.
I don't think that's happened before in the AFCON. I think we've had them on the lines, you know, but some of them will actually be. So there's a list, but Papa Gassama is there, and he's listed as a referee, not as a VAR official.
Oh, but he will not be on our match.
It cannot be. No referee would referee his or her own country. That's just not allowed.
Yeah, but Mr. Ade, I think due to because it's I don't know today what's happening. Because they are sleeping in there, right?
Yeah.
So any final remarks?
Well, final remarks, really, just to say that, you know, we're still at a stage where some teams have not sent in their squad list yet. Yeah. And, you know, we're getting close to the end of December. Yeah. The thing starts in January, in about 10 days or so, 10 or 12 days. And that's a bit of a surprise. Yeah. But for the Gambia, I think they really need to go there and be prepared to perform. And Guinea-Conakry, you asked, they're actually going to be playing, they're going to go to Rwanda and play some friendlies there against two Rwandan league teams. And I think
we should do the same.
Yeah.
Just so we're extra prepared.
Well, we made the mistake of playing Morocco's Chan team and they thrashed us.
And it was a disaster.
That wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
But, you know, so, yeah, finally, I think, you know, big hopes. And we hope it goes ahead. We hope they don't give in to the pressure that's coming from the rest of the world to cancel the tournament. There's no reason why it should be.
Yeah, so Ibrahim, I think we're up next. Click segment, is it?
We'll be back after the break. Thank you, Mr. Ade, for joining.
A pleasure, as always. Yes. Thank you.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522 222 353 2222.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q Money and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your Q Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q Power and other Q Money services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the Q Money platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with Q Money by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe.
From that break, if you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I'm here with Ibrahim Balde.
Yes, it's time for some entertainment. Let's go do some entertainment. And we have C-Boy, my brother.
My brother, Ibrahim Balde. What's up? You doing good, bro?
What's going on?
Alhamdulillah, we're back again with another segment of The Click on this morning show. and I'm proud to introduce my guest, who goes by the name Master Lion. He is one of the most profound
DJ.
Really?
Master Lion?
Yeah.
He looks like a lion.
He does, really. He really does look like a lion.
Yeah.
But the humble lion himself.
Yeah.
So I'll just allow him to introduce himself, you know. Master Lion.
Well, greetings to all the viewers. This is Master Lion, as he said. Born and raised in Gambia, from Brikama. Now living in Finland for quite a long time. Yeah, man.
Wow, Master Lion, I was expecting you to roar for us, you know. You're wearing a t-shirt that has the lion
man.
face, so I was
but
expecting...
you know, when I roar, maybe the TV will start to go down.
Then don't roar, please.
Yeah. Please keep it safe. We don't want to...
Yeah, man, I have to keep it simple.
Okay, so Master Lion, why did you choose the name Master Lion, first of all?
There are lots of lions in the jungle, but you know, every group of people or every group of animals, that should be the head.
Right.
So Master of the Lion is the head of the lion.
Nice. Beautiful one there. So just quickly run us through your journey into music. How did it all start for you? Because I understand that you started your career as a DJ,
yes,
a promoter to be specific.
Yes.
So just give us a quick rundown of your journey.
Yeah, man. Back in the days in Gambia, in the early 94, 95,
nice,
I was working as a DJ because I'm someone who got inspired by my own mother.
Wow.
And then I live also next to the great griot, Tata Dinding. That's one compound between us.
Rest in peace to Tata Dinding.
No respect. He's a senior brother to me.
Okay.
So I started playing as a DJ, and then when I traveled to Finland, I continued playing as a DJ, and later on I registered my own company and started to work as a promoter at the same time as a DJ.
Nice.
Organizing different concerts.
And in which year did you move to Finland?
Yeah, I traveled in the late 2003.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's a very long time ago. You've been in the game for a very long time ago.
Very long time.
Nice. So your journey into music is very inspiring. Someone that started as a DJ, a promoter to be specific, and then transitioned to a reggae artist. So tell us, what influenced you to take that turn?
Yeah, I started this recording artist this year because my mom, she has been a religious singer all her life.
Nice.
So when she passed away this March, I was, by then I was in Finland, so I said to myself, I have to make sure and continue the legacy of my mom.
Your mom,
and the journey has to continue.
Nice.
So that's why I make the transition, because back in the days, I used to sing along with my mom, but really just singing. So now I think it's the right time to make a transition, to come in a different way, even though it's not really just singing, but it's the same.
Yeah, music, as they say, is it's very positive.
True.
Yeah, always giving out positive message. So being a reggae artist in the Gambia here, and then currently living in Finland, how does that feel?
Bit different, because you know, if you live in a foreign country where, for example, some of our cultural music here compared to Finland is a bit difficult because they don't understand the language. But still, music is a universal language. So we face challenges there, especially I could fully recall when I do bring Gambian artists in there. Sometimes it's difficult to pull some crowd like the Finnish crowd, but yeah, gradually it has been growing.
Because most of these artists from the Gambia are not well known there.
No.
Yeah.
So we try to, especially myself, I try to push them to make sure Finnish people and other people living in Finland and the surrounding can get access and have understanding with Gambian artists too.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
Man.
And then I made a background check on you, and then I saw that you've released your album.
Yeah.
Actually, and then you named it Tribute to Mama.
Yeah, man.
Wow. It means you and your mom have this special connection.
Man. I am mommy's boy, even though I'm a lion. Yeah, I have a close relation with my mom.
Wow.
And when she passed away, then I make this a special song to my mom. And that's the title of the album, Tribute to Mama.
Tribute to Mama.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I dedicate to all the mothers who has gone and all the mothers who are still living with us. Because, you know, in this life, there will be nobody like a mama.
Mama, yeah. Shouts to all the mamas, beautiful mamas out there, you know, doing it for us, taking good care of us. We cannot pay them. So these are the little things that we can do for them. Shouts to my mama, by the way. So what are your upcoming projects that we'll be expecting from you?
Yeah, man, you know, as a Gambian, always proud to be home and always proud to do something back home. So I'll be launching my album March 19 in Gambia, gonna be in Busumbala Hall. And then this event will be featuring lots of Gambian artists, alongside with there will be foreign artists.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, so who are some of the big names out there that we'll expect in
Gambians? I might not be able to mention all, but there'll be ENC will be on the lineup. Singers is there. We know back in the days at Freaky Joe.
Wow, Singers, shouts to
and then
Freaky Joe.
Black Thunder will be there. Trouble Smalls. We have Sophia and Beansy will be there.
Okay.
Myself with the band.
Okay.
And then there'll be Jimmy Morgan from Jamaica.
From Jamaica.
Yeah.
So all these people will be performing. And
all these people.
At the end of the program, the big lion will eat them all.
Yes.
That's a good one right there. The big lion himself.
But the master of the lion. So I'll be headlining the show.
Of course,
so
we expect that.
Being
a lion.
Yeah, the most important thing, we want to entertain the crowd.
Yeah.
So I'm sure every artist will do their best to make sure everyone get entertained.
Yeah, nice. So I'll engage my co-host right here, Jenaba Sonko and Ibrahima Balle. What do you have for my guest, Master Lion?
Yes, Master Lion, let's talk about the music. You've based in Finland and you've been doing your music career there.
Yes.
How did you see the Gambian music industry now?
Right now, I can say it's looking good, because compared to, I remember my first trip was 2008. Yeah. Those days, it was not easy even to pull Gambian crowd in Gambia. But nowadays, I have been following, because that's my work. I do follow up, and I see that events are going quite well. Stadiums have been packed, and most of the events has been packed. That's really a good look, because, you know, if Gambian don't come and support our own artists, it will be very difficult for our industry. So right now, to wrap it short, it's looking good.
It's looking good.
So what are some of the things that you think you can put to impact the music industry more, because we want it to go beyond?
Well, Master Lion has been, I said that to myself, I'm jack of all trade. I'm working still as a promoter, whereby I organize tours. So I could remember I did a tour with ENC from Gambia on a European tour, which was really great. So we're still looking forward to work with different Gambian artists from Gambia to Europe on a tour.
Yes, Seaboy.
Okay, so my guest has nice videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So what we will do, we'll just take a look at his videos and then we'll be back.
Yeah.
Back again, Seaboy.
Yeah, that was a beautiful piece right there from my guest,
nice
Master Lion. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So, Master Lion, will allow you to have your final words of this program. I'm sure we'll have you some other time.
Yes.
Yeah, we're expecting to see you some other time.
When is the launching?
March 19.
March 19,
March,
2022.
2022.
Busumbala Hall.
Busumbala Hall, yes.
Yeah, we'll be there.
So we'll allow you to have your final words with your fans out there. Shout to everyone out there.
Yes, thanks to you and thanks to my entire management team, Jundu Baji and the whole Masterline management team.
Nice.
Because it's not one person to do all. So I'm thankful to my management for setting up this.
Nice.
Thanks to all the viewers. And then thanks to all my fans that has been there for Masterline since day one up to now. And thanks to all the artists, Gambian artists, and all the artists that has worked with Masterline.
See, boy, I'm happy that he mentioned Jundu Baji. I'll say something about him.
Okay.
He's a big fan of music, and he's a big promoter.
Okay.
He plays a lot when it comes to the Gambian music industry.
Okay.
Jundu. Shouts to Morgan, my brother.
Then we'll have to have him on this platform since he's a strong pillar of this program of Gambian music.
We'll bring him.
And,
finally, I would like to say I made a song which is specially Destiny that spoke. It's a Gambian song.
Okay.
Destiny Calling. That's the new video. Which was released yesterday.
Nice. That was all we had for you on the Click segment. It's a goodbye from me. Till we meet on another episode. Peace.
Yes, so that's all on the Click segment. Thank you so much. One Stop Water Solution. Do not forget, they're right there on Sukuta Highway. Go and visit them and get to have pure water. You need quality water, right? So, Ibrahim, I'm afraid that is all we have time for.
Thank you. Until we come here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
For now.
Preji kendomi annun ji senango adabe hadama dungula baluwole kono annun hadama dung ka fengo fengo dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senango ay ke kuti mi yalo ko ata hadama dung mantora madingul One Stop Water Solutions Limited ibi janne Gambia banko kan annun ye filtarole natal me yalo ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senango natale Gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la annun jio diata ba One Stop Water Solutions Limited ye filtarle natal me yalo ko alse muna fanganola alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang aboholo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa One Stop Solutions ya natale 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotale filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya dada aya senendi mensebeta alla jata kendato o fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalo ko asi chemical o bonnino jiol kono le mensebeta alla jata kendea filter mi mboko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemical o be bondi akono pour kala jata kendea sa hen nim filter sabol be kili wo kili na pansundo ko na wata tankol fana sotale kabirim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fana be mol bulle alsimol tarano sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala isimol kubandi 505 5691 796 8271 One Stop Water Limited Solutions inatale ka jiko be sonende Gambia Banko.